Welcome. Thank you everybody for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logiks View. I know it's been a long time, and like the caption say today, I just said I'm going for it. I've been burning, been dying to get back to podcasting, and it's so much to talk about today after work. I just got to it. I've been working almost 50 hours a week every week, first shift, and it's hard to um, get everything together and do what you need to do a show. But I ain't trying to talk much today. I just want to get right into what I want to talk about. Got a couple subjects jotted down. I just want to make sure the sound is okay. I don't know if let me see. Check my sound. Bear with me, like I say, it's been a minute, and I want to make sure. Right into what I want to talk about. Okay. Got a couple subjects. Okay, there we go. The sound is working. We in here. Let's go. All right. So it's a lot that has changed since my last regular show. It's a lot that been going on. A lot that has been revealed. As many of y'all know who follow me on social media, y'all already know, my views and feelings have changed tremendously regarding Trump. And a lot of it, you know, the first thing I wanted to talk about today before we get off into everything else is the team sport politics. The team sport politics. It's like, for example, with the Detroit Lions. Both my older brothers is big football fans. They ride or die Lions fans. They don't care what their record is. They've been ride or die. We from Michigan. We rep the D. We rep the Lions. I'm not into sports. You see me with this shirt on. This is one of the only sports shirts I got. Every time I wear it, I get all type of conversation that I don't want. I don't know nothing about sports at all. And people always want to talk sports when they see me wearing this, but I'm not into it. I just love Michigan, our state, Michigan, and I like the color, and I like to rep our state. So I got a Lions. Anyway, point is that people pick a team in sports and they ride with them, and then that's how a lot of people are in politics. They pick whichever side, red or blue, aligns with their beliefs the most, and that's their team they ride with. And when you in that two-party paradigm, you can't see the full picture. You only seeing what aligns with your party. So many people on both sides get trapped in that two-party paradigm, and I got caught back up in it. Trump pulled a lot of people back into the two-party system. A lot of people was fed up with it. A lot of people was demanding exposure of corruption long before Trump ran. We had Occupy Wall Street. We had the Tea Party movement. And, I was real young at that time and wasn't involved in the local politics. I was following global politics at a young, early age. But a lot of people was fed up with the two-party system, as we rightfully should be. A lot of us know it's two wings of the same bird, and a lot of us believed that Trump was coming in to expose both wings and tear down the establishment and drain the swamp. We believed, and we gave him the benefit of the doubt. We wanted to see him work, give him a chance, and he sucked so many people right back into the two-party system, you know. And now, and that two-party system divides us so badly, and people don't even have compassion for the other side, the other team. It's team red versus team blue. My team is better than yours, and it's a lot of words that I don't want to try. I want to try to avoid saying to prevent the algorithm from doing more damage than it already do to so many platforms. But Once you step outside of the two-party paradigm and you realize both sides are working together, it's like the blurry vision clears up. Once you in that two-party paradigm, whether you on the blue or team red, your vision is obscured and blurred, and you see the other side as an opponent, and you lack compassion for them. A lot of people do, whether it's team blue or team red. Red, call them all type of names. We don't care if they get shot. We don't care if somebody get popped if they on the other team. They this, they that, they deserved it. They are humans. And I don't care what team you on. We are humans. We need to realize we got some evil, evil, evil people in power at the top that want us to stay divided, whether it's race, whether it's religion, whether it's political party, or whatever ideology. They create so many divisions and they feed the division and they suck us into it. And we have to wake up to this so we can be above it and overcome it instead of continuing to fight each other instead of fighting them. That's what they want us doing. They want us divided. They want us hating the other side, having zero compassion, battling each other, and not battling them. Once you step out of the two-party paradigm, you can see so much clearer. I admit Trump sucked me into it. I believed in him. I hoped he was going to be true to his word, and they deceived millions and millions of people. Pastors, it don't matter what color, what race, they had so many of us fooled, and a lot of people still under the deception, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I pray that they wake up sooner rather than later. But when I awakened to Zionism, I done repeated this story 1,000 times because it's the truth. I started to see the bird and both wings and how they was flying and operating and attacking and killing. And I started to see that, unfortunately Trump, you know, has been a part of this system his whole life, and I I started to wake up in October 2023 and the months after October 2023. I still supported Trump reluctantly to try to give him the benefit of the doubt and help get him secure the election. But as time was going, I was learning more and more. I've never stopped researching into Zionism. I've never stopped researching into Israel and the Ashkenazis and all these terms that's probably gonna trigger the algorithm. But I don't even care. We not in this for we in this to spread the truth. We not in it for money. We not in it for likes and clicks and subscribers. The real warriors for truth and the real warriors for God is in it to spread the truth. We working and serving God. We ain't in it for the money. So I started speaking out against Trump, and I've spoken out against him, even though I've supported him for the past 5 years. When I was doing my podcast, whenever Trump did something I didn't like, especially that pertained to Michigan, I was vocal about it, and I still supported him and campaigned for him and rallied for him and all that. But uh, we got to call out things we don't agree with when they happen. Leading up to the election, once he didn't say nothing against the bipartisan anti-Semitism bill, and he ripped his mask off, but people didn't know what to look for. A lot of people was caught off guard by Israel. It took me a lot of deep research to get caught up on it, and 2 years later, I'm still researching and learning and can see more clearly than ever. Here I am rambling, but this stuff is important. They we talk about keeping you know the state out of politics and the state and church and this and that. Well, the state is trying to embed themselves, engulf themselves in politics through the Zionism and Israel. That's a whole nother story that I'm gonna talk about, but not right now. Uh, I stopped supporting Trump, and now I'm very vocal against him. I said it in one of my Facebook posts, which I want to address some of my Facebook posts. I want to try to make this video between a half an hour and an hour, so it ain't too long, but probably won't get to it. But I said I was vocal and loud for Trump when I supported him, and now that I don't learn the truth, now that he done ripped his mask off and showed his true colors, I'm gonna be vocal and loud against him. You know what I'm saying? I gotta wake people up. I supported people. I encourage people to support this man and this administration. And they've backstabbed us all, whether you've realized it yet or not. They leading and ushering us into the technocracy, the AI surveillance technocracy state. They trying to build these different cities, calling them freedom cities. It's a whole globalist agenda that go over so many people's head. But I started speaking against them, and I'm not gonna stop because the truth been there all along. We just got conditioned and brainwashed to write everything off as fake news. Everything that didn't go with our narrative or support Trump, it's just fake news. All they do is lie about him. 96% of the coverage of Trump is negative. All the truth has been there, and more is being revealed. And we was conditioned to write it off. A lot of people still write it off, and that's their choice. We all gonna have to answer for our choices and decisions. But now the Zionists and Israel and Trump, they don't care if we know or not. Trump disowned half his base. He said we weak panicans. Uh, Trump disowned us. He said he don't need us. We bad people. Just because we demanding accountability, we see through the facade now. We gave him the benefit of the doubt. We supported him. We got him across the finish line, so many of us, and now we just all being branded as all this negative stuff, and he don't need us. We see through it, and we are about the truth. We have integrity, and we real warriors for God. We not in it for money. We not in it for clicks and likes and subscribers. We not in it to be liked. We know standing on the truth, the world is going to persecute you, can't rise up against you, and it's a lot of deception going on. A lot of people deceive, so it's not surprising. But anyway, the team sport politics, we have to break free from it, man. You know, we got it's a lot of Democrats who are amazing people, our family, our friends, our cousins, coworkers, whatever. So same for the Republicans. Once you fall into this two-party paradigm, it dehumanizes the other team. You have lack of empathy, lack of compassion, and you are charged up and angry at them instead of charged up and angry at the puppet masters who orchestrating this all. So I encourage people. Some of the channels, if you check my website, I updated my website, my source page, uh, Max Egan. Go to my website if you want to know who to follow that's not involved in two-party politics. uh, Max Egan up there, Candace Owens up there, Bradley Dean, uh, Stu Peters, Jimmy Dore. Um, it's a lot of people who are awake to the two party system. Ron Paul, Liberty Report on Rumble. You know what I'm saying? We can't be tuning in to these. If you do tune in to these sports team politic podcasts, you have to be aware that everything they say is gonna be slanted towards their side, and they gonna blame the other side for all their problems. They're not gonna point you to the Zionists who control. The Zionists is the puppet masters that control the Uniparty, and the Uniparty is the big players at the top who control all the little underlings in Congress. And it started in the federal Congress and it trickled down to the state Congress. So people like, oh, y'all focus so much on all this corruption abroad. What about state politics? We gonna lose the midterms. The midterms is already lost. Uh, According to the Republicans, Trump done destroyed all that. This now we at the chance where we need a third party We got a bigger chance than ever to fuel and fight for a third party candidate. But the Zionists probably try to take control of that and plant somebody in there too. It's a never ending war. It's a never ending war. But Israel going crazy, man. Let me show y'all a video, man, and just stop talking real quick. Now, I got some video. I'll be bookmarking stuff on TikTok if y'all follow me on there. So much stuff. I don't think I bookmarked it. Anyway, I shared an important video today. Not many people probably watch it, but Max Egan lay it out. He got a podcast called The Crow House, and he is a podcaster doing his thing from Australia. That's exposing global politics in a easily comprehensible manner. He's just one of many. But once you awaken to the two-party facade, it's like you can't go back to sleep. Trump sucked a lot of people in, man. He played his part well, but now the jig is up, you know. Um, I wanted to show something, a video, but I don't think I bookmarked it. What's up, Michigan Muckraker? Man, I miss you. And man, people wonder why I'm going hard against Trump. They talk about, oh, you got Trump derangement syndrome, blah blah blah. If you knew the truth, you would be outraged as well. But I remember when me and Muckraker was talking, she wasn't even a big Trump fan at the time. She was aware of the globalists and the WEF and the agenda, and you know what I'm saying. I remember trying to encourage her, like, Trump coming in to tear it all down. He got to play this part, and it was all this nonsense, man, that we was spewing because we had hope and faith, uh, that we finally had somebody in power that was gonna stand for the people and help tear down the establishment, man. But the mask is off now, and many people see it, and the people who trying to expose it is being censored, and the people who pushing the same old narrative, the same mainstream narrative, sports team politics, like Benny Johnson and Justin Barclay, they still being promoted, and they still getting their playtime and growing because they still pushing the facade. Trump still coming shouting them out and using them. They being used. Glenn Beck is a so he a outright Zionist. He ain't hiding it. He come on right after Justin Barclay. You know what I'm saying? They both keeping you sucked in that two-party system. Oh, it's the crazy Dems. It's not the uniparty, the Zionists, the Israel ain't controlling our government. They'll never say nothing bad about Israel. Never. Because they'll get that call. Oh, we pay you to be pro-Israel. Or you start going against Israel. Why? Yeah, go start going against Israel. You're going to have problems. Now, the people who ain't scared to face the friction and problems, and the people who all about the truth, they gonna take them losses and revenue and subscribers. Every president is a puppet. You know what I'm saying? They popped JFK because he was trying to expose the truth. But let me get back to glad to see you in there, Michigan Muckbreaker. Miss you. We're gonna catch up soon. Okay. Now, if you are okay with something that's going on or something that's happening to somebody else, or if you justify something that's happening to somebody else, don't be surprised when it happens to you. For example, what happened to Alex Preddy, since he was a Democrat or a liberal or whatever, people on the right saying FAFO, blah, 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 he shouldn't have attacked. I don't know which video y'all seen, but uh, Preddy, the same thing that happened to him, same thing that happened to Ashley Babbitt. It was Democrats saying the same thing about Ashley Babbitt. They were saying the same thing that Republicans are saying about Preddy. That's that two-party paradigm. And even, when I was doing my podcast in Michigan for 5 years, I spent 95% of my time going after Republican rhinos because we already knew what the Democrats was up to. We got snakes in our own party. We got to deal with them before we can deal with the others. So I spent the whole time calling out Republicans. You know what I'm saying? That show you right there. They just as crooked. It's so much job security in calling out Republicans, even as a Republican. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm calling out both sides. I get labeled by the Republicans as being a Democrat because I call out the Republicans and Trump. And then I get labeled by, you know what I'm saying? Now the Democrats starting to show me love. They got so much respect for me for admitting that I was deceived and misled and coming clean publicly and confessing and repenting and turning away from that wicked deception or mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy to be set free from the two-party illusion. You know what I'm saying? And I feel empathy and sadness for the people that's still trapped in it because it's like your vision is blurred and you can't see clearly. You're so comfortable in your echo chamber where everybody's saying the same thing, no matter what side you're on. And we don't realize, like, the media is showing the right stuff that will outrage them, and then they show on the left something different, something that's gonna outrage them. That's like the right knew Biden was an obvious pedo. It was obvious. The stuff we were seeing, it was so obvious you couldn't deny it. Now the left, they believed without a doubt that Trump was a pedo. So they like, y'all confuse me. Y'all say y'all against pedophilia, but y'all voting for Trump. And we like, y'all voting for Biden. If you can't see Biden, is a so we was played again by the Zionists. Choose an obvious pedo or a discreet pedo. You know, all the info been there. They was just hiding it from the right and showing it all to the left, and vice versa. And here we are, many in the right, like, no, they failed to let go of that fairy tale dream. But we was psyoped. They used our hope and our faith and our belief against us. And some of us who have strong faith and strong hope and belief, we held on tight. But the strong ones got to realize, like, hold on, man. He's supposed to be, you know, it get deep. So, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but the paradigm, the left versus right paradigm, man, we got to step out of it. Got to step out of it, you know. So, what's going on in Gaza and Palestine? If you okay with that, or if you justify that happening to them, if you find some way to justify it, or if you just rather would just deny it and say it's all, AI or Pallywood or fake. If you want to do that to make it easier, you could do that too, but don't take away from the reality. But don't be surprised when it start coming to the homeland, because don't think these Zionists, we just goyim. We just goyim to these Zionists, these satanic Zionists at the top, the synagogue of Satan. That's a word right there that you can't even type on X. And it probably just triggered the algorithm for sure, just for me saying it. But the synagogue of Satan, these is the puppet masters. Yeah. BlackRock, Vanguard, trillions of dollars. They worth trillions. They control everything, man. Y'all want to stay on the surface level. When you messing with logic, we gonna go deeper together. The Lord been taking me higher and higher for the past 20 years on this journey of being a proud conspiracy theorist. Now I'm a proud anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist. Uh, but the Lord gonna keep. He'll give you. You seek and you gonna find, and you ask and you receive. You shall receive. You want the truth, buckle up. Um, it's deep. Now another point I wanted to bring up I was talking with one of my coworkers today about back in the day with the music industry. A lot of people always been deep in the music. I've been deep in the music. Back in the day, you had the underground industry, and then you had the commercial industry. And the underground industry was where all the real artists was. You know what I'm saying? And the commercial industry was the mainstream industry when people sold out and would dance for their dollars, do whatever the record executives tell them to do. Now we know who those record executives were and what type of agenda they was pushing. But back then, a lot of people, it went over their head. But the underground artists, they was spitting that fire. They was they used to push music. They coined it as edutainment. So you was getting educated and entertained at the same time. They would enlighten you with their music. And then the commercial mainstream artists who sold out was doing whatever the record label puppeteers told them. They pushing that negativity, that promiscuity, that glorifying death and murder and thug lifestyles. The record executives was giving tons of money to the people who would push that, and then the underground artists, where all the real ones, they was selling their tapes out of the trunks. They selling out shows underground, low key, and they was proud that they didn't sell out. Well, you switch that up and look at it. Today's mainstream podcasters versus underground podcasters. The underground podcasters, we in it for the truth. We ain't in it for the money. We ain't in it for the subscribers. The real underground podcasters who's warriors for God and country, we is all about the truth. We all about, admitting when we wrong. We fighting for God. We fighting against the kingdom of darkness. That's what a real underground podcaster is like. They might not have 500,000 subscribers or a whole lot of money. They might work 45, 50 hours a week and can only do it with minimal tools and accessories. They might not get the big names on their show, but you best believe they dedicated to the truth. And they the ones facing censorship. You know what I'm saying? We the ones being labeled as this and that. The mainstream podcasters, they the ones that control the narrative for the most part. They get all the viewers, all the subscribers, all the big names, all the shout outs. You know what I'm saying? So people look at them, they got all the money, they can travel. People like, oh, these are the people to follow. They got 2 million subscribers. Trump shouted them out. Wow. They had blah, blah, blah on. Man, these is mainstream podcasters that sell out, and they either subservient to Israel or they ignorant and unaware of the implications and the impact that the Zionists have and Israel have, because if they knew the truth, they would be exposing the truth, but they don't, because either they ignorant or they have sold out. They in it for the money. They'd rather keep getting paid. They done built this whole successful podcast on supporting Trump, and now the truth goes against Trump, but they don't want to lose money or lose subscribers, so they keep pushing the narrative. They might be too ignorant to know the massive impact that these is the real puppet masters. We've been trying to expose the deep state and the elite and the globalists and the evil people at the top. We got all these names, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Committee of 300, the Jesuits, the Catholics, the da-da-da. We got all these different names. They all globalists and they all Satanists. And globalists mean you want to dominate the world. That's what a Zionist is. They believe they have the right to this world. The globalists, the deep state, the real puppet masters, they follow the Talmud. They want global domination. They want us fighting each other. They create these wars. They all about usury and taxation. Usury used to be outlawed religiously and politically for a long time. And it was one group of people who would always, you could always go to them if you needed to get a loan or if you needed some cash. They front you. They front it to you, but they gonna tax you. They gonna charge you some interest. You know, anyway, so you got these mainstream podcasters that's selling out and that's in it for the money, taking these $7,000 checks from Israel. They lack a knowledge, they lack the biblical and spiritual understanding to understand that the Zionists hijacked the true identity of the people Israel and the land of Israel. You know what I'm saying? These podcasters was just in here supporting Trump and knew a little bit about the Constitution. They wasn't real warriors, biblical Bible thumping warriors who understand. And a lot of people got to be told. I ain't even finna get off and all that, man. Y'all want the truth, man. Look to the Lord first of all. But don't be affected by people's subscribers and how much money they got. The disciples was poor. They walked around preaching the truth. You know what I'm saying? Now we think you got to have 500,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers to be credible or a lot of money to fly all over. That's who you want to follow if they got money and fancy equipment and a lot of subscribers. You want to follow people just because they tickle your ears and tell you what you want to hear, and they giving you Team Red narrative. They giving you what. We got to break free from this two-party paradigm. It's so important. Every point I talked about so far, keep going to that. Michigan Muckraker say, yes, we have to get offline and learn our community and lead it when the bad times really set in. Amen. Amen. That's so truthful, man. We could be having gardens in our community. We can build youth groups and youth activities. We can build this stuff. We can come together. We can be above this party lines and divisions. We can love each other. The Bible say, love thy neighbor. It don't say love thy neighbor as long as they ain't a Democrat, or love thy Republican neighbor and hate thy Democrat neighbor. Come on, the Bible, the Zionists want Christians and Muslims fighting each other. That's been part of their plan, have us take each other out. So they hiding under the Judaish religion, the Zionists. They not even real Jews. They hiding under the Jewish religion. The Jews is hundreds of thousands of Jews who speaking out against the Zionism and the Israeli government. They against it. The media will never show you that. You know what I'm saying? But the fake, because the Jews, which is the Ashkenazis and Khazarians, they want Christians fighting and killing Muslims, fighting till the death. And we do it. Our kids, we send them to war. Oh, little Jimmy just joined the military. Yeah, little Jimmy finna go kill strangers because the Zionists tell him to, and they pay him to do it. He don't know why. Then little Jimmy come back 40, 30, 20, 30 years later, little Jimmy, alcoholic that committed suicide because the things he was paid to do overseas, he can't even live with himself. They don't talk about how many soldiers is coming back committing suicide every day from the atrocities they was paid to commit over there. People wonder why I'm ticked off. They say the truth gonna set you free, but first it's gonna tick you off. If you ain't ticked off, you walking in deception. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't care if you on the left or the right. Then you got the left out here saying, "Oh, Kamala don't seem that bad now." She was a Zionist too. Joe Biden's a Zionist. All the options they give us is Zionists. puppets, ready to do the bidding. She was a fraud too, and so was Joe Biden. If you think they would have been any better, you still caught up in the two-party illusion. You just on Team Blue. It's so obvious once you step out of it. When you trapped in it, and even back before I stepped out of it and awakened to Zionism, I used to tell people on the right, like, quit calling them, like, they not all stupid, like talking about people on the left. They not all ignorant. They just misled. They just deceived. I say, we deceived in certain areas too on the right. I was still trying to have compassion and sympathy, like, listen, y'all kill me how y'all just so quick to demonize somebody just because they on a different political party. Now that the Lord done pulled me out of that deception, and I rolled with Trump. I was riding with Trump 7, 8, 9 years. QAnon, all up in that psyop. You know what I'm saying? Riding with Trump. Trump finna get in here and shut it down. He got to play this part so the Jews will allow him to be elected. Man, I'm sitting here. Miriam and Sheldon Adelson gave him $100 million. I'm like, well, he got to use their money, and hopefully he get in there and use it against them. Man, they gave him another $250 million, and they about to give him another two. I ain't even. This Zionism topic go over so many people's heads, and I'm gonna continue to do videos on it over time because people need it broke down. It's not rocket science, man. It is not. It's just our whole life, we've been indoctrinated with the scriptures pertaining to Israel. Now, no other subject have we been indoctrinated more than pertaining to Israel when it comes to the modern day church and modern day religion in America. They've been manipulating us since 1908, 1909 through the Rothschild doctrine, Schofield Bible, Darbyism, dispensationalism. Average Christian don't know nothing about none of this stuff. A lot of pastors don't even know because the truth just now started coming out during our lifetimes since the invention of the internet. The truth been out there, but it couldn't take hold before the internet. Now it's out there. So let me get in here. It already been a half hour, man. What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all, man. Local politics, man. I miss local politics, man. I gotta. I'm gonna be bringing on guests from Michigan who've been heavily involved, and I'm gonna be asking all type of questions so I can get updated, and I'll probably ask questions that a lot of other people might want to know too, so we can get updated together because we do still got a lot of battles, but if you're unaware of the ultimate battle, then you're not going to be effective fighting in other battles because Zionism and Israeli influence over our government all the way down to the local level, that is huge. The number one battle. You can ask Netanyahu himself. He said the eighth front of the war is social media, and they trying to use every disposable tool they have. They flying out hundreds of thousands of evangelicals and Christian pastors to Israel to re-educate them so they can leave Israel and come back to America and other places and push the Zionist doctrine and agenda. They're trying to tell us how to interpret the scripture. And I go so hard over these topics pertaining to scripture and this deception because people, eternity is at stake. Whether you supporting, this is like when the enemy is a master deceiver. He can have you thinking you walking in light, but he can have you walking in darkness thinking you walking in light. You know what I'm saying? Now the Bible say that the Lord forgives those who know not what they do. You know what I'm saying? But once you do know and you choose to keep doing it out of fear or out of ego or out of pride or out of lack of knowledge, once you get the knowledge and reject it or refuse it, then that's a different ballgame. You know what I'm saying? And we are under attack by the enemy. The last thing he wants us to do is wake up to the truth. All these pastors we done seen all our life growing up on TV, on the mainstream, they've been Zionists. They was only allowed to be there because the puppet master said they could be there. You know, this joint is so deep. It's so deep. So local politics, we got the governor race, we got Senate races, state representative races, we got people. I want to say I'm so proud of all the Michiganders who out here fighting against these data centers and all the progress y'all done had, all the endurance and just out there on the battlefield, man. I've been working. Usually we working 48 hours a week, and on the weekends I have my son. I watch my grandkids, so it's been tight. I ain't been able to be out like I used to be, but I shouts out to all y'all. I love all y'all, man. Red or blue, I don't care what. Even the people who mocking and ridiculing me in the comment sections, man, I love all these people. I be praying for them, because uh, it's the Lord's will that all of us make it into heaven, even though majority of people going to hell. That's what the Bible say. But the Lord's will is that everybody can be saved, so we need to be trying to get everybody uh, awake and walking in truth, and you know, on that narrow path. But I'll be praying for people, and it's all good. Those who serve in the kingdom of darkness, consciously and knowingly, they gonna face theirs. And I pray that the Lord's will is done in their life, whatever that may be. But some of the people I suggest following, like I already said, you can go to my website. But Max Egan is great. If you want a nonpartisan, a clear view exposing both sides, exposing the uniparty and exposing the puppet masters, you know what I'm saying? It's people out there. I listen to a whole bunch of people, but some of the people I encourage you. Ron Paul, he been exposing how Trump done reneged on all his campaign promises. The Liberty Report, Ron Paul, Max Egan, you know, Candace Owens, she been fighting, exposing a lot of corruption in TPUSA, but she done stepped out of the two-party system. She understand how important it is to expose the Zionist hypocrisy and fraud in religion. They're using religion. It's not about religion. It's about your relationship with the Creator. You know, um, Redacted News. I tune into them regularly. Jimmy Dore. Um, it's a ton of other ones, but all the people I used to listen to, I can't even stomach them now. People like man, I can't even hear it now because all I hear is "Go Team Red, Go Team Trump, Go Team Israel, Go Team Red, Bad Team Blue. Team Blue does everything. They deserve to die because they're on Team Blue." It's like, yeah, I can't even stomach it. And the same thing is on the left too. But the people who done stepped out of that and speaking clearly, exposing both sides, the whole bird, not just one wing. Them the people, their numbers is growing, but they being censored. Their numbers are still growing. They got red, blue, and independents. All walks of life can rock with them. And it's like freedom from the deception and the circus. And it's like a new set of eyes, man. It's like the veil. The Lord can remove the veil. It's like once you on team red or team blue, a veil is placed over your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And you can only see half the picture. But once you step out of team red and team blue and step back, like maybe Trump is in on it and both sides is working together. Maybe Biden and all of them is all corrupt and working together. Once you say that, and once you actually start researching and analyzing from that perspective, that veil slip right up. You ask the Lord to reveal the truth. And then this Israel deception is massive. People whole lives we've been told that these is the chosen people and this is the biblical Israel. And many Israel wasn't even a topic until lately because that's so deep. It's so deep. You know, I'm gonna try to not go off into that, but what's up, everybody tuning in? Shout out to everybody who tuned in. It's been a while. I work today, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to come home and do these after work, at least maybe 3 days a week. At least 3 days a week. But if I can keep them under a half hour, I can probably do one dang near every day. There's so much going on right now, so many subjects to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I got love for all my true warriors for God and country. Uh, Even the people who hating, the people who've unfollowed, the people who still caught up in that two-party system, man. I still got love for y'all. I still pray for many of y'all. I want y'all to. I pray that y'all awaken from that two-party system, step out of it, and look at things. Allow yourself to see things clearly. Allow that veil to be lifted. All my family members and friends on Team Blue. I done tormented y'all for years, and y'all, a lot of people, man, they said, man, the only reason I ain't follow you because I always loved you. You know what I'm saying? I always knew you was smart. And I had somebody, one of my people I grew up with, she said, man, I done unfollowed every Republican dang near on my Facebook except you because I loved you so much. And now that you done awakened, I'm glad I never unfollowed you. Man, we talked and we chopped it up, man. And it's just like so many of my family members and friends, uh, they like, man, it take courage, man. I commend you for, coming out and admitting and now speaking out and speaking from a nonpartisan, neutral standpoint, exposing it all, helping other people see. Man, I get people messaging me, people coming up to me in real life, people hitting me up all the time, man. Just giving me props for being true to myself, and that's those things. That stuff be priceless. You know what I'm saying? Can't no amount of money compare to that. And people who know me on a personal level and have been following me and through this journey got nothing but love and respect for me. The people who don't know me, you know what I'm saying? They don't know me, so they can say what they want. The people who know me know I'm 100, man. You know, and I'm far from perfect. The Lord been carrying me through this journey, through the ups and downs. And without him, I'm nothing. Filthy, wretched rags. You know what I'm saying? So, God bless all y'all, man. Trying to fight, you know. Even if you still misled or deceived in certain areas, God know all our hearts. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to fight, if you keep digging, keep praying for truth, don't be surprised. The Lord gonna keep revealing stuff. A lot of this truth is ugly. And people don't want to accept that ugly truth. They want beautiful truth that fit right into their little uh, hopeful narrative and fairy tale. But the truth is ugly. The truth is ugly. We ruled by satanic pedophiles who tax us and steal our life energy through black magic money creation. We ruled by pedophiles. That's ugly truth. They all hiding it. They all working together. You know. So hopefully I don't get this video censored or get strikes on any of my channels. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logiks View. And if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, drop comments, and even prayer requests down below. And also subscribe so you can be notified each and every time our content is uploaded. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Man, it's been a while since I said that, and it feels good. You know what I'm saying?